Hello, beautiful earth angels. Okay, looks like the mic's working. Welcome, beautiful earth angels, empaths, and cycle breakers. This is Jill Kempner, angel coach, alchemist, and author of Receiving from Your Angels, and I am so happy to be here with you on April Fool's Day. Happy April, happy full moon. I had to go live on a full moon. It's a tender day for me because it is my brother's heavenly birthday, and he would have been 44. So I'm a little tender, I'm a little raw, and I had parts questioning whether I should go live or not, talking about everything, and I just keep feeling the pull of La Luna and her medicine here supporting me in showing up and sharing, showing up and shining, and kind of really also the energy of my brother, right? Like, just do it. Plus, I'm so excited about what I'm going to talk about. My mission is to lead sensitive, intuitive souls to transform pain into peace, whether that pain is physical or emotional, and become calm, clear, and confident with relaxation and angel love. And it's an honor to share my medicine in this way and to add value to your life. That's always my intention when I go live, when I'm sharing a teaching, is to bring my soul's frequency. Because the good news is your soul is always calm. Your soul is always calm. Your soul is always clear, and your soul is always confident. And yeah, even despite the grief, we can show up and shine, and we can show up and share. So today we're talking about clarity and the shadow of clarity. So my last video, my last live was talking about the ingredients of clarity. And the ingredients of clarity are simplify, release, return to the sacred. And so understanding that clarity is not complex, clarity is not control, and clarity is not perfection. This is like so important when we start to realize the ingredients of how do we get to clarity, right? We want to be in the frequency of our soul's calm in our heart, our soul's clarity in our mind, and our soul's confidence in our gut. Well, how do we get there, right? How do we get from the confusion, the clutter, the control, and the perfectionism, right? The shadows of clarity into clarity. How do we activate? How do we go from the lead to the gold? It's the alchemy formula. So the alchemy formula is invitation plus devotion plus intention plus R to the third, relax, release, receive, equals alchemy. So there is a path to taking what's heavy, what's leaden, what's painful in your life, and turning it into spiritual gold, turning it into your medicine, turning it into taking the pain and turning it into peace. And that's basically my whole message. I want to help you take your pain, right, and turn it into peace. Hi, Viviana. Good to see you, love. So I'm sharing, the messages that have come through me as I've navigated the heaviness of losing my brother 3 years ago. It's actually not 3 years yet. It'll be 3 years in August. And the other multiple initiations that I've been through, the different traumas, the different challenges. I'm on a mission to take all that lead, all that heaviness, all that trauma, and turn it into spiritual gold for myself. And I do that through the relax, release, receive process. And at the end of relax, release, receive, right, you awaken You embody, you activate the calm, clear, confident you. So we're in the middle of that formula right now with clarity. Last month we were talking about your next level of calm. Now we're talking about your next level of clarity. And that actually comes through devotion. I'm going to talk about that. So the shadow of clarity, it's, thank you, angels. They were saying something else. Okay. So the shadow of clarity, right? Complexity, like overcomplicating, right? Overthinking. Control, right? Control, grasping, attachment, even expectations, right? And that perfectionism, right? One of the heaviest shadows of clarity comes from feeling that we need to be perfect and be polished and be I feel like there's another word for perfect the angels are bringing in, but I'm not hearing it right now. And it's all good. So what do I mean when I talk about the shadow? I want to back up and slow that down a little bit. So when we're thinking about the alchemy formula, right? Because my job as an angel coach is to help you to alchemize your pain into peace. Whatever pain it is, whether the pain is physical, like an autoimmune issue, like chronic pain, like the cancer journey, or whether it's emotional pain like PTSD or going through the addiction journey or the abuse journey, right? Whether the pain is physical or emotional, we can get to the spiritual gold, we can get to the gem by slowing down, right? Slow, simple, soft. The result is calm, clear, confident. And how do we get there, right? So we start by inviting our angels, right? We welcome their love, their presence, their medicine. And then we commit to it, right? We devote to that frequency. We devote to our clarity, to our connection, to our calm. And then we set that crystal clear intention, right? It's like, okay, I want to receive clarity. I'm devoted to receiving love and clarity from my angels. I'm committed to my next level of clarity, soul's clarity in my mind. It's like, okay, done, good, right? Those are the first 3 steps of the alchemy. And then we need to intentionally relax, intentionally release, and intentionally receive. And we're receiving, because we welcome the beautiful full moon here, right? And as soon as I said receive, it's like we're receiving intuitive downloads. We're receiving messages. We're receiving medicine. We're receiving clarity on our next right step. And also we're receiving the gems. So I was thinking about what gem have I received from all this heartbreak. I'm going to share this. And what came to me was just like how grief stretches you, grief stretches your heart. Because that's what I felt, it was like I could feel the sadness of not having my brother here in the human form and his, vitality and his enthusiasm and his charisma and his all the things. So I was feeling sad, and just the way he died and everything. And then I was also feeling like the joy of his soul, like the joy of his spirit, that he's not in the human form suffering anymore, because at the end of his life, he was suffering. He had a brain injury. He was in a traumatic car accident, and he had a brain injury, and he also had mental illness, and he struggled with the mental illness and taking the medication and all the things. And that was part of what led to his tragic death. And he was suffering. And so it's like I was sitting with this, like this stretching of my heart, this opening of my heart, this expanding of my heart, because the grief was there and the sadness was there. And then the joy of his freedom, sovereignty, relief, release of him being on the other side. And that was just like a gem. It was like, oh, just grief like stretches you, right? It stretches you. It stretches your heart. It opens your heart. And when we go, and this is where it links into clarity. Because practice number 3 in my book, Release and Lead with Your Heart. Remember, what are the steps of clarity? What are the ingredients of clarity? Simplify, clear the clutter, release the unnecessary, release the expectations, release the sadness, release the fear, the trauma, all the things, right? Release, 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 but not just release, right? Release and lead with your heart, because your heart is the compass. Your heart will lead you to your next moment of clarity. And then stay in the heart as you return to the sacred, the sacredness within you and around you, which I call in my book devotion, right? It's like I'm devoted to receiving love and clarity from my angels. That's the magical mantra that will bring you your next level of clarity and will help you to step into your ability to receive the gem, because there is a gem inside of your pain. So my commitment this year, I've committed to awakening my inner alchemist. What do I mean by that? Hi, Laura. Hi, namaste. Say hi if you're here. Awakening the inner alchemist within me. And then we'll talk about the shadow a little bit more. So the alchemist is that highly sensitive, highly intuitive soul who has been through it. And if you're here watching this, if you've been following me, that's you, right? You've been through it. And you're committed, you're devoted to leading with love, to seeing every challenge, every issue, every pain, every wound through the eyes of love. That's the alchemist. And guess what? You get to that alchemy, from lead to gold, by seeing it through the eyes of love. So my commitment this year is to be the calm, clear, confident me and awaken the calm, clear, confident you. So that's why we're talking about clarity today. So back to intention, right? Invitation plus devotion plus intention plus R to the third equals alchemy, right? We're going to get there. We're in clarity right now. And when we talk about intention, understand that whatever if you have clarity as your intention, you have to clear, you have to release the shadow of clarity. So the shadow of clarity, as we've talked about already, is complexity, right? Overcomplicated, overthinking, clutter, right? The shadow of clarity is control, right? Grasping, attachment, expectations, right? That's the shadow of clarity. So that's the opposite, right? This is the opposite of clarity. And then perfection, right? Because devotion is not perfection. Clarity is not perfection. We don't need to be perfect to be clear. We need to be devoted, right? We need to be committed to releasing and leading with our heart, simplifying, right? Releasing clearing the clutter, clearing the confusion, right? Clearing the chaos, the noise, the static, the ego, right? And just simplifying, right? To get to our next level of clarity, we need to release. Release the unnecessary, release expectations, release the pain. And then to awaken that clarity, to step into that clarity, we need to return to the sacred, right? We need to be devoted. So the magical mantra that I'm going to share here with you. And I feel like, wait, the angels are saying something else. So yes, so I just want to repeat this again because I feel like it's really important. So when we choose a fuel like clarity, in order to manifest that clarity, yes, we have the steps, right? We have the ingredients of clarity, and that's really important. But we also have to understand that the opposite of that energy, the shadow of that energy is going to come up. So we have to name it to tame it. We have to look at it and say, hey, I want to be clear, but I'm actually being controlling. I want to be clear, but I'm actually really complicating this. I want to be clear, but I'm really actually being a perfectionist right now. You know what I mean? So we want to slow that process down. Thank you, angels. Right? Welcome our beautiful angels here. Invite their loving presence and then make that beautiful commitment, right? So I invite my angels and guardian angels, allies, animals, ancestors, ascended masters, archangels, the heart of source to be here now. Thank you for guiding and protecting me for my highest good and highest healing. I am the keeper of my mind and body, and I welcome only those angels, guides, and earth angels that love me unconditionally. We can already feel the frequency of the calm coming in through that invitation. And then we welcome clarity through devotion. Alchemy and clarity through devotion. So placing your hands on your heart, the gateway of your angel's love, and stating your devotion. And I'm feeling this energy of the full moon. Thank you, angels, are saying that La Luna is opening up your intuitive channels. So after you say this magical mantra, you want to pay attention, right? You want to pay attention to your clairs. You want to pay attention to your heart. You want to pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your body. Thank you for that download, angels. Beautiful. So it's very simple. I am devoted. So if your hands are on your heart, you take a cleansing breath. And then you say, I am devoted to receiving love and clarity from my angels. Feeling your heart open to your angel's love. I am devoted to receiving love and clarity from my angels. Aligning your mind with divine mind. And one more time, I am devoted to receiving love and clarity from my angels. Now in this moment, pause, breathe, and receive your angel's love and devotion for you. And then under the light of this full moon, notice the thoughts in your mind, the feelings in your body and heart, and trust your inner knowing, your inner vision to the next level. And if you're here live, hi Dawn, hi Laura, hi Viviana, put it in the chat. What came up for you, the comments. Thanks, Dawn. Okay, so I'm curious what came up for you. I'd love to hear from you. For me, I just felt like relaxed, you know, it was just like this next level of relaxation, just like, like I could take a breath and there was space. Yeah, that's what I really felt, was like this spaciousness come in, which is so beautiful. And so I'm on a mission to awaken the alchemist within you, to help you get all of the gems of your journey through the alchemy formula and help you step into your next level of calm, your next level of clarity, and your next level of confidence. I'm committed to doing the work inside of myself to get there, and I'm committed to helping you. So my next Angelic Alchemist class in our membership is next Wednesday, April 8th. It's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. It's called Clarity, the Alchemy of Devotion. And we're going to be talking about what is clarity and what is not, what is it not. I always weave a personal story in there as well. And of course we're talking about devotion, right? Really understanding what devotion means and why we're using this magical mantra. And then I've already given you the magical mantra, but understand that in the workshop itself, with the power of the group, we're going to take this mantra and integrate it into our daily life, integrate it into our internal family systems, right? Into our conscious mind, into our intuitive heart, into our power center. And you're going to be guided by your soul to know exactly when you need to use this mantra. Yes, there's guidelines I'm going to share with you, but your soul is the leader. Your soul is going to let you know when this power mantra needs to be said to create the alchemy, to create the gems. And then in this class, you're going to have an activation from Archangel Michael, the angel of protection, the angel of power, the angel of presence, to get to your next level of clarity, right? So he's going to bring in all of his medicine and his frequency and his sword of light to awaken your next level of clarity, to awaken your next level of devotion, which I'm so excited about, right? Like he's already shown me. Actually, I went and I realized that I have all the notes for the next class when I was looking for something else. So yay. Okay. All right. Let me see what else the angels are saying. So yeah, thank you, angels, right? The shadow of clarity. As you're embodying clarity, and your next level of clarity, anything that's not that comes up for healing. And what do, right? When you feel that shadow, right? When you're complicating, when you're trying to be perfect, when you're controlling, right? You're going to go back to inviting your angels. You're in feeling that calm. You're going to go back to devoting and receiving that clarity. And you're going to give yourself and you're going to recommit, right, to your personal intention over and over and over again, right? When the shadow comes up, you're not doing anything wrong. When the shadow comes up, it actually means you're on the right path. And all you need to do is redevote, recommit. In my personal practice, I say that magical mantra 20 to 30 times a day, sometimes more, depending on if I get activated. When I get activated, I use that tool, right? It's a simple, clear, easy tool to align with your clarity and renew your devotion. So I'm really excited about the next class. The workshop, the standalone workshop is $44. And then you have 72 hours to commit to the Alchemist for the whole year, which is a year of monthly healing archangel activations, right? A simple teaching, a short teaching, a concise teaching, a simple tool that you can start using right away. And I invite you to, right? Because what's the end result of all this? The calm, clear, confident you. What's the end result? Is that you have a gem from your pain. So my intention after every class is that you feel calm, clear, and confident. My intention is that at every class you have a gem. And if you don't have that gem yet, that's okay. Because you have the formula to get the gem, right? It's like wash, rinse, repeat until you get that gem. So I hope I added value to your life. Dawn, thank you so much. We were feeling scattered today, and I was simplifying across all the platforms, right? And I saw you pop up with clarity. So yeah, exactly. Like it's like you're in the flow, right? You're already getting to your next level of clarity by simplifying, right? Simplify, release, return to the sacred over and over and over again, until you have that clarity. So I hope this resonated with you. It was a little longer than I thought, but it's all good. And I really I wanted to pull a card, but I realized I don't have my cards over here. So I'm sending you so much love and angel blessings in this awesome full moon. I know so many downloads came through that I am trusting and honoring. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this workshop and all the other beautiful workshops that I have coming up. So if you're not on my newsletter, go to my website, jillkempnerhealing.com, and enroll in my newsletter so that you get these replays directly to your inbox. And I'm always intentionally adding value to your life. And I'll see you on the next live. Mwah! And see you in the class next week. Lots of love. Bye. Bye, Dawn. Thank you.